Beloved, welcome back. The U.S. Forest Service traditionally lighted with two different types of lanterns, white gas and kerosene. This is an original box that I found that housed the fuel side of it. What they would do is they would build these little boxes and they would put inside a 1-gallon can of either gas or kerosene, a filling funnel, and a small cleanup cloth or piece of canvas in case you had any spills. We're going to be duplicating that today. Goodness, get in there. With the kerosene side. Now last summer we built the white gas, which would be notified as red, but today we've got a kerosene lantern. We want to make sure that we identify that separately. These little cans are still available. You can buy these on Amazon. They're reusable. They're very light and they'll last a long time, but left alone without a protective cover, they don't hold up very well. That's why we need the box. So we're gonna build this box, a pair of them, but in blue, the traditional way. The original box is so simple, lightweight, easy to build, very inexpensive. You can see right here, we've got for the sides, we've got tempered hardboard. Now this has been around for a long time. You can buy it for about 20 bucks a sheet. This is 1/8 inch. I'll put a cut sheet, all the dimensions here sometime in the video, but everything we need is right here. 3 pieces for the bottom, 2 pieces for the sides and the bottom, and then we also have the lid. Now the hinges are 1.5 inches. You're gonna need a small clasp, some small brad nails, and a 5-inch drawer handle. The construction's pretty simple, but obviously it works. It's been around a long time. We've got the 2 hinges on the back. We've got the clasp and the handle for carrying it around. Inside, there's plenty of room. This is the original funnel, copper, solid copper. How about that? Those are not going to be available anymore, but the new ones will look like this, but that's fine. But you can see the side, the part or the tempered hardboard on the side, and the 1x construction on the bottom. Very easy. All right, let's get started. We'll start by building the frame. You'll need a 1x6 and 1x8. Just go to Home Depot, get something that's fir or pine, clear and straight. Here's the cut sheet for all the pieces. You can pause that and write those down. When you start putting together your carpenter's kit, one of the first tools that I would buy would be this large Japanese saw. I'll put a link to the tools that I recommend. I'll pin it to the top comment. This will rip and cross cut, meaning it's got 2 different sets of teeth on it, so it's very versatile. Ripping is when you cut along the grain. Cross cutting is when you cut across, so you use the big teeth for ripping. Stay a little bit above your line. Here you can see the big ripping teeth. Cross-cutting are the fine teeth. Just plain down to the line. Very nice. When you're doing this, beloved, always build 2. Remember, 1 is none and 2 is 1. And it's just as easy to build 2 as it is to build 1 because you're already measuring and laying everything out. We're going to use 4 screws per side and the rest will be nails. And don't be like a East Coast Philistine. Lay everything out so it looks nice. You know, the good book tells us, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. And that means everything, even your carpentry work. All right, gentlemen, let's mark out our sideboards. I like to lay out for my nailing pattern. Set your combination square to half the thickness of your boards, which would be 3/8. That way you nail right in the center. A couple things to take note of here. We're going to use 1-inch wire nails. Now this won't be square, so I'll show you how to square it. So what you want to do is you want to flush it to the top of the opening right here, and we'll drive in our first nail. You can see here we're not square. You also see I've held up a little bit. Now this will absorb water. Even if we paint it, it's not going to be as durable as the pine wood. So hold it up to 1/16. That way it won't wick up in there. cut a spacer the same width as the bottom. This will help you keep it square a little bit. Now we're gonna rack this here. We can just use our clamp, and we'll square this up to the temper hardboard, because the temper hardboard is going to be pretty square. I'm going to put a nail about every 2 inches or so. This tempered hardboard does seem to have 2 different sides. The shinier side is what I put out. It seems to hold paint a little bit better. We are looking good, gentlemen. I think we are ready to put our lid on, put our hardware on. We'll start with the back hinges. This is a 5-inch handle. It's important to get the distance right on these. They have to work a certain way. If you don't get them right, when you put them in, they'll want to fall out all the time. And so you trim this by changing the eye nut. And you want it to just barely slip in there with almost a little bit of resistance, but not where it catches. So just back it off a little bit so it goes in easily. And it's actually quite a clever design. If you do it properly, even if you shake it, it won't come loose, very rarely. And this is just about right. All right, beloved, that's about all the time we have for today. Tomorrow, we'll put got the proper blue for the kerosene color, and we'll use the Marsh stenciling machine to cut the stencils and do it just like the original one was, like the Forest Service uses. And these are really nice little cases. These are carbon copies to the red ones that we made. They'll just have kerosene instead. Kerosene is really appealing for a lot of folks because you can store it pretty much indefinitely. And to have a backup system for cooking, to be able to provide light is very appealing to a lot of us, and having that dual fuel option is nice as well. Remember, 1 is none and 2 is 1. Is that what the military says? And I definitely believe in that. But they turned out very nice. They'll take paint really nice, and they really are charming. You can build these. This would be a good introductory to woodworking. It's very simple. You can build these for about $20 a piece. They're not very expensive. They're quite simple. Just follow along, and you'll have the same results that I did. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. If you enjoy this series, take a moment and subscribe, hit the thumbs up. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow's, and we'll see you on the next video.